So in this video, I'm going to talk about practicing your scale boxes where you name all the notes. Now this is an exercise that I did while I was learning my scales, my box shapes at least at first, and it really totally transformed my playing because when I was done learning my scales, I also knew where every note on the neck was. And I think this way is a little easier than trying to go in some flat mechanical F, F sharp, G, A flat, because it all ends up seeming sort of the same after a little bit, and your brain kind of likes these irregular curves to help remember stuff by. So trying to memorize the notes in a scale is a much better way, I think, to go, because what I found is that if you even just know the notes of a pentatonic scale, you'll find that every note on the entire neck, if you know all 5 boxes, is touching a note that you know. So even if you don't know the name of the note offhand, it's next to one you do, which means that once you know the names of the notes in the pentatonic scale and through the whole grid, then your knowledge of the rest of the notes is naturally going to fill in quite quickly. That's what I found. It really happened without me practicing it that much. So let me kind of give you an idea of how I go about this. So the first thing you want to do is learn a shape. Let's just take Pentatonic Box 1. Everyone's done it. Here we are, fifth fret of your thick E string. Make sure you know that forwards and backwards. And then you really want to know what are the notes of my scale. In your pentatonic scale, you have A, C, D, E, and G. 5 notes. A, C, D, E, G. And we're starting right there on A. If you're not really sure what note you're starting on or for whatever key you're doing, count up from your open string. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. And remember, whenever you're counting up like this, E and F have a half step between them. B and C have a half step between them. So this is E to F. This is not E to E sharp. I mean, technically it is E sharp, but you're going to want to call it F because F is going to go to F sharp, not E. E sharp doesn't go to F. It goes to F sharp. So you get E, F, half step between E and F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. And the same would be true of B and C. If I did A, B flat, B, half step between B and C. Always remember that when you're counting up. So B goes to C, C sharp, D. So whenever you're finding a note, especially on your thick E string, just bear that in mind. So we start with Pentatonic Box 1. And we start on A, so you just go through the letters you have. A goes up to C, D, E, G, A. Now if you don't really nail that right away, go over just those, even go over just 2 strings or 1 string until it starts to gel in your brain. If you have to go A, C a dozen times, if you have to count up from here to get to just your first starting note a dozen times to remember where this starting note is, that's fine. Take as long as it takes for it to really go in. That's the important thing. Watch your mind and figure out how fast this stuff is going in. That's more important than just saying the notes because you want to memorize these. You want to internalize them. So you count the first octave, A, C, D, E, G, A. And then the next octave, C, D, E, G, A. And you probably hit the C for measure. Then go back to the first part that you did. Work over that first part again. Then work the second part. Then go back and forth between the first part and the second part, or these 2 strings, and then these 2 strings. Then these 2 strings, then these 2 strings again. Then the last 2. Then the last 2 you just did. And then these 2 again. And then the first 2. And then the middle 2, and then the last 2. And you jump around between the parts that you've done a lot. It's challenging, but that challenge is actually what makes you remember it. So that's really key. So once you've done that kind of going in one direction, you want to make sure you can go up, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, and then backwards, C, A, G, E, D, C, A, G, D, E, D, C, A. There we go. Yeah, I got to work on this some more. So when you can go up and backward, there's a link to a really nice fret practice tool. Challenge yourself and see if you can figure out where the notes are based on that. And I think also once you've done that for all the boxes, you're down here, box 5, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, C. Do it there. Here, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, etc., etc. Do all 5 boxes. It'll probably take you probably 2 weeks of doing it a little bit every day to really get all these down. But once you get them all down, you're going to be able to figure out where every note is on the entire neck, and that is ridiculously useful. So it's really worth 2 weeks of, like, 10, 15 minutes every day to really nail it down, because it totally is going to open up the entire neck to you and make your boxes much deeper. And these boxes, oh my gosh, they're everything. There's no style of music that you won't use them in. So hope this isn't helpful. Hope you keep working on it. If you want to see other tutorials in this series on how to play lead guitar or melodic stuff, just hit me up. Yeah, but I hope you find these useful and you do more of the videos and you keep pimping your lead guitar playing. Yeah. Hope to see y'all in another video soon. Catch you later.